Good evening, everyone. Let us chant Namo Tassa before the start of the session. Namo Tassa Bhagavatu Arahato Samha Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavatu Arahato Samha Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavatu Arahato Samha Sambuddhassa. All right. Can you all see the chart that I have shared? Yes. So last week we went over Janapacha and we ended it there. We concluded the class at Janapacha, and today we will continue along path. Right, path. So to simply recap what we went over in Janapacha, the meaning of Janapacha is taken as Jana and Janapacha. Janapacha, the mind which takes an object, in taking an object, the mind is enveloped by this object, right? The conditioning states goes into taking an object. It is by that Janapacha is to be known. Singhalen කිව්වොත් යම්කිසි අරමුණක් ආග්‍රාණය කිරීමට යම්කිසි ධර්ම ටිකක් මුල් වෙනවා නම් ඒ සියලු ධර්ම ටික ධානපච්චය වශයෙන් අපි නම් කරනවා. All right. That is where we see a difference in those states that are named as jhana, vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekaggata. But here we see another compilation or a few additions to those numbers, right? That is because this is Janapacha. Now, coming over to path, number 18 today, right? Number 18, path. Here, path. Did we read Lady Siado's extract on Janapacha last time? We did, didn't we? We didn't?
We did not read the
Oh.
part in Lady Siado's book. We did not.
Okay, we did not. Okay, then we will read that and come back to path. Okay, thank you. Sorry, just what is the book that you're seeing? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me try another way. All right, Janapacha. I hope you can see Janapacha now. Yes, wonderful. Janapacha. The 7 constituents of jhana are the pacha dhammas in the relation of jhana. They are.
Bhante, excuse me. We read the Janapacha. We read it, but I was referring to the Maggapacha,
Yes.
number 18.
Okay. So, okay. Thank you, Devika. Then we will come back to. All right. So then, path. Coming back to path, everyone. Path condition is a condition where a conditioning state, relates to the conditioned states by causing them to function as a means for reaching a particular destination. The conditioning states in this relation are the 12 path factors, which reduce to 9 chetasikas. I think we did go through this last week as well.
Excuse me, Bhante. I was referring to Lady Sayadaw's book only. We did not read the Magga Pachaya. This one, in the Abhidhamma book, we read it.
Oh, did we start the Magga Pachaya?
Yeah, we did. And you explained that. Only thing is, we didn't go to Lady Sayadaw's book and read the Magga Pachaya there.
Hari, come up now. Let's go through this again. That's fine.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The conditioning states in this relation are the 12 path factors, which reduce to 9 chetasikas. The 4 wrong path factors are the means for reaching. So the Maggangas here altogether are 12. The Maggangas are divided into 2 parts, the Samma Ditti and the Miccha Dittis. The Samma Ditti leads to the happier destinations, whilst of course the Miccha Dittis lead to the lower destinations. The Samma Dittis, so if we are to simply recollect what the Maggangas are, we have the Maggangas being right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. And the unwholesome, we have wrong view, wrong intention, wrong effort, and wrong concentration. Now, these 12 are then sort of, we find that right view is wisdom, right? Now, looking at the chetasikas that would arise. The right view is taken as the cetasika of wisdom. Right intention would be taken as initial application, vitakka, right? Vitakka, but not exclusively. This vitakka is not exclusive, meaning that it can also be right intention and it can also go into the wrong intention. Right? It can be right intention as well as wrong intention. So it is not exclusive. The vitakka is not exclusive. It can be right intention and wrong intention in the Samma Ditti Magganga and the Miccha Ditti Magganga. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood are the 3 viratis. Right effort is the cetasika of energy. Right mindfulness is the cetasika of sati, mindfulness. Right concentration is a cetasika of ekagata. Now the exclusive, those are the wholesome ones. In the unwholesome, the Miccha Ditti or the wrong view is exclusively view, the cetasika of view, and it is exclusively only wrong view, right? It does not come under right view, only wrong view. And we have for wrong effort, wrong intention was initial application, wrong effort again, non-exclusive cetasika can also be energy, right? Can also be energy. And wrong concentration, it is not taken as sati because sati is a wholesome state of mind. It can never be wrong. What wrong concentration is then taken as is the cetasika of ekagata, right? One-pointedness there, right? Those cetasikas lead, depending upon its state, it being a state of wholesome Magganga or the ones which are not so wholesome, the Michaditika Magganga, it takes you to whichever destination. The 4 wrong path factors are the means for reaching the woeful destinations. The 8 right path factors are the means for reaching the blissful destinations and Nibbana. The conditioned states are all chittas, except the 18 that are rootless. The associated chetasikas and the connascent material phenomena. So if we did it already, then we know that we look at the connascent with 81 rooted chittas. This is taking out the rootless chittas, right? Taking out the rootless chittas. Because obviously, what is the reason that we take out the rootless chittas? Because it is only the consciousnesses, the positions, the states of mind, which leads to a certain destination that is taken, right? So whilst there are some states which would take you to the wholesome or the more sort of grandiose states, the heavenly abodes, the Brahma planes and Nibbana, there are states that will take you to the woeful states. The Ahetukas take you to neither. It is exhaustive, right? The Ahetukas are exhaustive. That is the reason that we do not take the Ahetukas there. The associated chetasikas and their connascent material phenomena. While the path factors in the resultant and functional chittas do not lead to any destinations, they are still classed as path factors because considered abstractly in their own nature. Nivana kina e isthānaya tapi isthānayak වශයෙන් අරගෙන ඒ අංග ටිකත් අපි ඇතුළට ගන්නවා. We consider those specific states as destinations in the spirit of the fact that they lead us to a certain state. They are identical with those capable of leading to different destinations. So we take those path factors as well, right? Is that clear, everyone? Any questions before we move on? Let us now go on to what page? 312, Nalini. We are now moving on to Venerable Lady Sayadaw. Manual of Dhamma. Jhana. Yeah. The 12 path constituents are the Pacha Dhammas in relation of Magga. They are right views, right aspiration. Just to remind everyone, if we use the word Magga, we would understand Marga Phala. We would take it in the sense of attributing to something based upon Nibbana. But when it comes to Magga Pacha, it is in the spirit of leading to a destination, right? Leading to a destination. They are right views, right aspiration, or right thought. Here they've used aspiration. Right speech, right action, right livelihood, right endeavor, which is effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, wrong views, wrong aspiration or wrong thought, and wrong endeavor, which is wrong effort, and wrong concentration, which is wrong concentration, right? There are, however, no distinct mental properties to which to assign the terms wrong speech, wrong action, wrong livelihood. These are but other names for the 4 immoral aggregates, akusala khanda, which appear under the names of lying and so forth. Therefore, they are not taken as distinct path constituents. All classes of consciousness and mental concomitants conditioned by hetu, and all material qualities in coexistence with the hetu conditioned mind are Pachya Uppanna Dhammas. Are Pachya Uppanna Dhammas. In what sense is Magga to be understood? It is to be understood in the sense of path, that is, as the means of reaching the realm of misfortune or the realm of Nibbana. The 8 path constituents, right views and so on, lead to Nibbana. The 4 wrong path constituents lead to the realm of misfortune. How now the functioning of jhana is to make the mind straight, steadfast, ecstatic in the object. Ecstatic mind means the mind that sinks into the kasana object and so forth. And so forth, which means api sinhala vachana පාවිච්චි කරොත් අර සම්පූර්ණ ආග්‍රහණය කිරීම. ඒ අරමුණ සම්පූර්ණ වෙලා ගැනීම. Like a fish in the deep water, the functioning and so forth, like a fish in deep water. Okay, so going into the object. The functioning of Magga is to make karmic volition in the way in. The functioning of Magga is to make karmic volition in the way in, to the cycle of existence, and bhavanic volition in the way out of the cycle. Straight and steadfast issue a course of action, develop, flourish, and prosper, and reach a higher plane. This is the distinction between the 2 relations. This is the distinction between the 2 relations. Is that clear, everyone? Right? Whilst it takes 2 parts, the functioning of Magga is to make karmic volition in the way into the existence, cycle of existence, and bhavanic volition in the way out of the cycle. Straight, and steadfast issue in a course of action, develop and flourish and prosper, and reach a higher state, higher plane. In this is a distinction between the 2 relations. This is the distinction between the 2 relations. Okay. Now, here, the karmic volition, which can produce a rebirth, since it has worked out in moral and immoral acts, such as taking life and so forth, is spoken of in the Kamma Patapatta. And the bhavanic volition, which arrives at the higher stages, that is, proceeds from the sensuous stage to a transcendental one through a succession of higher and higher stages by the power of an orderly succession of training practices, bhavananukamma, even within the brief period occupied by one bodily posture, is spoken of as Bhummattara-patta, right? Bhumantara-patta. To understand this relation, the characteristic mark of each of the past constituents should also be separately explained in the manner shown in the relation of jhana. Right? Now, this is speaking of, it's taking with regards to the jhana relation and the Magga relation. The jhana relation and the Magga relation. Now, the functioning of jhana is to make the mind straight, steadfast, and ecstatic in the object. Ecstatic mind means the mind that sinks into the cousin object and so forth, like a ship, a fish in deep water. The magga is to make karmic volition in the way is to make karmic volition in the way in to the cycle of existence, and bhavanic volition in the way out. So jhana, right? Jhana is placed in a position of going deep into the object, right? Whilst magga operates in a position where it goes in, or it comes out, or way in, or way out with regards to the cycle of existence. If it is bhavana, it is in drawing out of that cycle, right? Meaning to a certain destination or out of that position, right? Out of that position. As it explains, magga, it deals with the destination that we arrive at through the spirit of those positions of mind that we experience, conditioned by those positions of mind, right? Is that clear? Yeah. All right. Any questions, anyone, before we move on to association? Was that understandable? Okay. All right. Let us look at the numbers just before we go on. 9 Chetasikas, which is connascent with the 71 rooted chittas. The 9 Chetasikas, which are the 9 taken from the Maggangas, right? The Chetasikas, right? Connascent with their 71 rooted chittas, right? 71 rooted chittas, and they are quoting the 9 Chetasikas here. Wisdom, initial application, 3 virathis or abstinences, energy, mindfulness, one pointedness, and view. This view is exclusively bad, unwholesome, right? This initial application can be both right thought and wrong thought. This energy can be right effort and wrong effort. This mind, this one pointedness can be right concentration or wrong concentration as well. They are not exclusive. Yes.
View is also either right or wrong.
Which
so
one?
that's why they've just put just put view. View is also the Chetasika of right or wrong view, not exclusively wrong. They just put view.
No, wisdom is right view, ne?
So, okay, so let me actually check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, right, got it. Yeah. So view there is only wrong view.
Yes, only wrong view. Only wrong view. Michya ditthiya metana ganne. Where the right view is only practice.
Panya, yes, wisdom. Okay, right, got it. Thank you, Bhante.
Me Damsiri. I can't hear you, Damsiri. Muted, I think.
Out of 12, there's when you consider 12 components, right? 12. That means all samma ditti, samma sankappan, micca ditti, and micca sankappan. 12 of them, yeah.
Yeah.
If you take 12 of them, then you have samma ditti and micca ditti.
Okay, samaditi, michariti.
And michariti. So in this particular case, the view can be either no.
Bad. View is exclusively michariti. In the samaditi, because
It's panya.
දෘෂ්ටිය කියන දෙය හැදෙන විදියක් තියෙනවනේ. ඒ හැදෙන විදිය නම්නශීලී නැහැ.
Okay, all right.
Now, if we take the exclusive ones, let's take the ones which are not so exclusive, which is one-pointedness, we have energy, and we have initial application.
Yeah.
Then, if we look at the gati of initial application, energy, and one-pointedness, these are components that take up, or that are rather flexible.
Yeah.
You know. Yes, Chamari.
Bhante, I think it is useful to kind of see it as on a continuum, in a continuum.
Okay, so what do you mean by that, Chamari?
So if you take a scale,
okay,
at one end, it would be the right energy. The other end of the scale is the wrong energy. In that way, they are both the energy, but two ends of it.
Okay.
So that's how I just kind of got the 9, but here, just the view, I got confused, but I understand it now. So with the 3 others, initial application, energy, and one-pointedness, if it is on a continuum, you're going from left to right.
Like a spectrum.
Spectrum, yeah, continuum, exactly that. So I thought it's easier for people to remember because it's the same, you use the same word, but one end is the michaditi, one end micha, let's say micha energy, micha virya, and the other end the virya, the samma.
Okay. Isn't there if we take it on a spectrum, or with A and B and a line in the middle, right, with one end or the other, and if we take, for example, basically taking kusala and akusala, right and wrong, right? If you place it in one part and the wrong in the other, isn't there a problem with the connecting line though?
Well, yeah, it depends. For me, it is like, maybe just use the other side of the same coin. That is a better one. There is no line in between.
The same coin.
Yeah. But it's the same coin. It's called one thing, like energy, but it's either one side or the other. It depends on the intention, right? So
so which position of the chitta viti?
Patthana, usually. Mind or adverting. So it's it depends on how we have what our tendencies.
What our tendencies are.
Yeah, and at that point we can't change the Patthana, but depending on our tendency, it will come up as kusala or akusala.
Yeah.
Bhante, other explanation is the samaditi, the chaitasikas associated with samaditi is panya.
The chaitasikas associated with
samaditi is panya. So we cannot. So samaditi cannot be considered as
view,
right? As it cannot be considered as a view because it is associated with the chaitasika panya. Yeah.
Okay.
Or the wisdom. Right. So in other words, samadhi is linked to the wisdom here in this list, not the view. view is normally considered in Buddhism as Michadikti.
Tapoddak, if we can go a little bit more to think about it also, Dhamsari, yes. And if we go a little bit more, we can also sort of take it from the side of considering the discerning element present within wisdom and the stagnant nature of view.
Yeah.
Right. Vishleshana, prajñāve tibena vishleshana namati gatiya.
Yeah.
What is stagnant in
Sinhala? Stagnant.
ඒක move වෙන්නේ නැතුව එකම තැන තියෙන එක.
එක වචනයක් නැද්ද ඒක?
ඒක දන්නේ නැහැ. සිංහලට දන්නේ නැහැ. නොසලවෙන.
නිශ්චල.
නිශ්චල කියන වචනේ ටික හොඳ වැඩි වගේ මේකට.
නොසලවෙන.
සාමාන්‍ය වචනේ එරුණ.
Yeah, එරෙන්න ගතිය. Yeah, I think so we can take all those points. I think all those points are valiant. Yeah. All right. Shall we move on then? Is everyone all right with that picture? Path condition. The condition states, those that arise based upon this 9. Let me increase this. Based upon these 9 Chetasikas, which we have just covered, conascent with their respective 71 rooted chittas, right, are then again the 71 rooted chittas, 52 Chetasikas, material conascent with the rooted chittas, right? Sahajata rupyan tikatitanta asul venama. Hari. Enam, shall we move on to the association? Okay, everyone? Thumbs up. Okay. Association. Same as 7a, I think mutuality, yes. Association.
It's on page 307.
307, okay. 307, here. Association, here, everyone. Association is a condition where a mental state, the conditioning state, causes other mental states, the conditioned states, to arise and be associated in an inseparable group characterized by its members having a common rising and cessation. Now that is the main thing. Inseparable group characterized by members having a common rising and cessation, a common object and a common physical base. That is what makes association condition, right? That is what makes association condition. This condition obtains between any chitta or cetasika as the conditioning state and all other mental phenomena at the same unit of consciousness as the conditioned states, right? As the conditioned states. Now, coming down to this. Association. So the conditioning and conditioned is same as mutuality condition, right? Mutuality condition. Now, do we remember what is mutuality condition?
Annamanna pacchaya.
Anyamanya pacchaya, yes, anyamanya pacchaya, but what is anyamanya pacchaya?
The cause has a condition. Cause gives rise to the result giving rise to the cause. Just back and forth, both at the same time.
Mutually, they arise mutually supporting one another. Yeah.
Or interacted each other.
Interacted. Where did you get that word from?
created by me.
That did sound like it was created by you.
Because it's a mutual interaction.
Mutual interaction. Mutual interaction. Well, do you think the word interaction would
in interaction? So that means it's some sort of
action, not interaction.
No, interaction. Yeah.
Interaction. Okay, interaction. Interesting.
But it's created by me, so it may be wrong. So what I'm trying to do is, Bhante, trying to explain this Dhamma in my own words. So then you will try, either you understand it or you just don't understand it. No, because by using some others' words, you are just repeating what's written in the book. So that's always better to actually express realization. The meaning of realization is express it in your own words.
Okay. Now we are going to have a problem if 15 people have different words for. But
we have to have a convention. We have to have a convention.
Apa siuru dinatama budu saranai. All right. Let us to just recap and to sort of understand clearly what the insinuation is between mutuality condition and association condition. What is the mutuality condition page, if anyone is on it? Oh, here it is.
317.
317. Here it is. Yes. So let us read together. The mutuality condition is threefold. Consciousness, and mental factors are a condition for one another. The four great essentials for one another. The hard base and the resultants for one another at the moment of rebirth linking, right? Mutuality condition is actually a subordinate type of connascent condition. In the general connascence condition, the conditioning state simply causes the conditioned state to arise together with itself. But no reciprocity in the conditioning force is required. No reciprocity in the conditioning force is required. However, in the mutuality condition, each of the conditioning states is at the same time and in the same way a conditioning state in relation to the very states that it conditions. A conditions B, B conditions A. Yeah, at the same time. Thus, a conditioning state in the relation of mutuality gives its force to the conditioned state and also receives the force of the conditioned state, which is a conditioning state relative to itself. This is compared to a tripod, each leg of which assists the other two legs reciprocally to enabling the tripod to stand upright. Right now, that is the focus. Api tripod dekama gamu. If we simply take the tripod and the 3 feet of the tripod, enabling the tripod to stand up by itself, that is mutuality condition. Right? That is mutuality condition. What is then association condition? Mutuality condition speaks about the conditioning. A conditioning B to arise, B conditions A to arise, A conditions C to arise, C conditions A to arise, C conditions B to arise, B conditions C to arise. That is mutuality conditioning, right? What is association conditioning then? Association condition focuses on the fact that these dhammas arise associating one another. That's the difference. Do you understand? Right? The mutuality condition focuses on the condition, the mutual conditioning present between the various dhammas present. The association condition focuses on those dhammas, just as mutuality condition that arise with the same base, that ceases, has the similar object and all of that. But within association condition focuses on the value of association. The fact that these dhammas arise associating another dhamma. Right? Associating another dhamma. In this relation, what is it? In this relation, what is it? At the moment of rebirth and existence, 89 chittas and 52 chetasikas, they give rise to other chittas and chetasikas that arise during the time of existence and rebirth. Right? Now, here, under association's condition, what are we focusing on? We are not focusing on the condition, right? The fact that they are mutually conditioned. We are speaking on the fact that they arise associating other phenomena, right? The four great essentials, conditioning the rising of those great essentials that are conditioned states. And same as the Sahajata, which is this one here, 6C. So the Sahajata connaissance C. At rebirth in the Panchavokara Bhumi, right? The 5 aggregate planes, the 4 mental aggregates and the heart base. The 4 mental aggregates and the heart base gives rise to the same. Right?
Bhante,
yes.
The association condition doesn't take all of the Anyamanya Pachaya. It's only same as 7A, not B and C.
7A.
Yeah.
Okay, 7A. Thank you, Chamari. Thank you. Both at rebirth and existence, 89 chittas and 52 chetasikas. Both at rebirth and existence, 89 chittas and 52. So that is it, everyone. Okay, just 7A. Thank you, Chamari, for pointing that out. Both at rebirth and existence, 89 chittas and 52 chetasikas. Okay. Now, 7A, yes. All right. So we would be only taking, let us go back to association, which is up there, just to make sure. Oh no, let's read Lady Seattle's book. Here. The relations of association and disassociation form a pair, association and disassociation. So also do the relations of presence and absence, and abeyance and continuance. These 3 pairs of relations are not special ones. They are only mentioned to show that in the foregoing relations, some Pachaya Dhammas causally relate themselves to their Pachaya Uppanna Dhammas. Some Pachaya Dhammas causally relate themselves to their Pachaya Uppanna Dhammas by association and others by disassociation. Some by presence and others by absence. Some by abeyance and others by continuance. Here also, in such passages as Attiti ko kachayana, ayang eko anto, nattiti ko dutiyo anto ti. The words atti and natti are meant to indicate the heretical views of eternalism and annihilationism. Therefore, in order to prevent such interpretations, the last pair of relations is mentioned. All classes of consciousness all classes of consciousness and mental properties mutually relate themselves to one another by way of association. So all classes of consciousness and mental properties mutually relate themselves to one another by way of association. In what sense is Sampayutta to be understood? Sampayutta is to be understood in the sense of association or through coalescence. How do I pronounce this word? Coalescence. Coalescence.
Coalescence.
Coalescence.
Okay. Look up coalescence. The joining or merging of elements to form one mass or whole. Okay, the lack of coalescence among the field of science. By the four associative means, namely, simultaneous arising, synchronous sensation, monobasic, and mono-object. So the qualities that were mentioned in the other book as well. Here, in Eki Bhavang Gato, or coalescence, it is meant that the consciousness of sight coalesces, I hope that pronunciation is correct, with its 7 mental properties. So with its 7 mental properties, so thoroughly that they all are unitedly spoken of as sight, right? That they are all unitedly spoken of as sight. These 8 mental states are no longer spoken of by their special names, for it is indeed a difficult matter to know them separately. The same explanation applies to the other classes of consciousness. To the other classes of consciousness. May I just read this again, please? Yeah, just to go over it.
Bhante.
Yeah.
Coalesce means, I'm just looking at the meaning of it, come together to form one mass or whole. So that's what they're saying here, that you can't know them separately.
That you can't know them separately.
Yeah.
In what sense is Sampayutta to be understood? Sampayutta is to be understood in the sense of association or through coalescence by the 4 associative means, namely simultaneously arising, synchronous sensation, monobasic, and mono-object. Here, like Eki Bhavang Gato, it is meant that the consciousness of sight coalesces with its 7 mental properties so thoroughly that they are all unitedly spoken of as sight. These 8 mental states are no longer spoken of by their special name, for it is indeed a difficult matter to know them separately. The same explanation applies to the other class of consciousness, to the other classes of consciousness. Okay. Yes. So when Sampayutta, let's go back to Lady Sadhu's book.
Ante,
yes.
The question that so what it says is that when you have a chakku vinyana associated with 7 chaitasikas, which is universal chaitasikas, you don't, it's coalesce, it's united. The meaning of coalescence is actually, it's well used in engineering. It's actually like droplets. Many droplets coalesce into one single droplets.
Okay.
It's sort of meaning actually. Many droplets coalesce into one single droplet. So in other words, these 8 dhammas unite into one single phenomena called sight. Right? This is what this is what what they are trying to say. Yeah. So it's very important actually to see that it's we actually sometimes we had to simplify certain dhammas into more complex dhamma.
A complex dhamma into a more simple dhamma.
Yeah, complex dhamma into more simple dhamma. Yes. Yeah. In order to understand, in order to digest it.
Yes. Yes, as it is mentioned here, Neda.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So coming back to then the difference between the mutuality and association, sampayutta pachaya, is then again the fact that in the mutuality condition we speak of here, this point is mutuality, the four associative means, namely simultaneously arising, synchronous cessation, monobasic and mono-object. Monobasic and mono-object. Now, this is the reason that in the mutuality condition, we do not take, I think it was 7, yes, 7a we took. 7a dealt with only the chittas and the chetasikas. We did not take the rupas of 7b and 7c, although they were mutuality, because they do not take the mono object, mono basic. That's not there, right? They do not take objects. Hence, we do not take 7b and 7c, which dealt with 7b dealt with the mahabhutas, conditioning the arising of mahabhutas, and 7c dealt with the I think they were the Hade Vastu, right? The Hade Vastu. Now, these elements don't take objects. Hence, we only took 7a, which can take an object, right? So these dhammas, just as in mutuality condition, 7a of mutuality condition would have the same thing, which is simultaneous arising, synchronous cessation, monobasic and mono-object, right? However, in the association condition, what we take is the fact that associated by that Dhamma, another Dhamma arises, associated. In the mutuality, we take the fact of conditioned by that Dhamma. This Dhamma is supported to exist and continue, right? That is the difference that we find, right? Within the associated condition, when we cannot see, when we speak about it or look at it in a certain way, when we can't sort of separate it from one another, we look at it in a manner that it has now formed or come to fulfill one simple or one task, which is sight or hearing or smelling or seeing or feeling, right? Now, what is the time? Yes. Damsiri, did you want to say anything, Damsiri? No. All right. Are we clear on that, everyone? Yeah. Now, if we just go on to, let me just show you what the book mentioned with regards to, now, following along Sampayutta Pachaya to Vipayutta, Sampayutta, Vipayutta, Atti, Napti, Vigata, Avigata, all of this is what it mentioned. It is showing the limitations, delimitations of, or the extent to which the Pachayas or these Dhammas work. Right? That is why in the beginning of Sampayutta Pachaya, they mentioned that these relations, they are only mentioned to show that in the foregoing relations, some Pachaya Dhammas causally relate themselves to their Pachya-uppanna Dhammas by association. Causally relate themselves to their Pachya-uppanna Dhammas by association and others by dissociation. and others by dissociation. Let us do disassociation. That will then make so much more sense what they're talking about, right? Asura, I don't know what the words disassociation is for singular, but it'll make sense, I promise. Now, let's go to disassociation, everyone, right? Disassociation. 20. Well, what is the page? If
11, 321.
331. Okay.
321.
321. Okay. Here we go. Disassociation. Disassociation condition is where the conditioning state is either a mental phenomenon that assists present material phenomenon. So, is either a mental phenomenon that assists present material phenomenon or material phenomenon that assists present mental phenomenon. Hare. In this relationship, the two components, the conditioning state and the conditioned state, are necessarily two types. Mind and matter will never mix with each other, right? They will not come and become one. That is what it means. Are necessarily different types, are of different types. If one is matter, the other must be mind. If one is mind, the other must be matter. This is like a mixture of water and oil, which remains separate though placed together. Is that clear? Disassociation. Now see disassociation, right? Now that makes association far more clear as well, isn't it?
Yes.
What they were speaking of in association. Thus, at the moment of rebirth, the heart base and the mental aggregates arise simultaneously, each a disassociation condition for other by reason of the particular characteristic that distinguish them as material and
mental phenomena.
And mental phenomena. At the moment of rebirth, again, the mental aggregates are the condition for other kinds of karma-born matter. And during the course of existence, from mind-born matter by way of disassociation condition. Disassociation also comprises pre-nascence and post-nascence types. Purejata and Pachajata. The former obtains between matter as a conditioning state and the mind as the conditioned state. The latter obtains between mind as a conditioning state and matter as the conditioned state. These are identical with pre-nascence support condition and post-nascence condition respectively. Now let us look at the numbers. Is that clear, everyone? Right? Is that clear?
Bhante, can I just ask, is this Sampayutta and Vipayutta like in those beautiful consciousnesses we talk on, Jnana, Sampayutta, Vipayutta? Is that the same kind of meaning?
Well, Sampayutta, how did we translate Vipayutta?
Disassociation.
Disassociation.
Yes, associated with and associated without.
I mean, we could, but not really also, to be honest. Okay, I mean, from the extent of the Pali language, of course we can, because it's the same word which is used, but in which spirit is it used, that would then cause a little bit of, because for example, look at jhana, right? And jhana pachaya. It's different. It's different, right? Path, right? Magga and Magga pachaya. It's different, right? So yes, on a verbal on a language basis, on a linguistic side, yes, of course, it's a Pali, similar Pali word. However, in what spirit is it used, that is different, Dil. So
Thank you,
that is something to be aware of. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. Now, disassociation. 1. In the 5 aggregate plane, at rebirth and existence, 75 chittas, and there are 52 chetasikas. How did we get the 75 chittas? Now, disassociation, sahajata vipayutta. Right? Sahajata vipayutta. How did we get it? How did we get the 75? Excluding 4 immaterial sphere resultants, 10 sense consciousnesses, the Arahat's death consciousness. The Arahat's death consciousness. 4 immaterial. Why? Can anyone tell me why? Tell all of us.
It's Chaturvokara. If it is no Rupa, then it's not Panchavokara, not 5 aggregate level.
Okay. Which means in layman terms?
There is no body.
Arupa.
It doesn't, yeah.
No body, so Arupa.
Yes, Arupa. Right, because it doesn't create the material counterpart that is required for the disassociation pachaya. Yeah, right. Is that clear, everyone? Yeah, so we take away all those parts of mind, or we do not take, or this condition does not take those parts of mind which does not create a body. Right? So 4 immaterial sphere resultants, the 10 sense consciousnesses, which are all exhaustive, Arahant's death consciousness, obvious reason that the Arahant ceases to exist, right? That is 1A. 1B, same as 6C. 6C is Hadevatu. Sahajata, yes. 6C. So 6 is Sahajata. 6C is at rebirth in the Panchavokara for mental aggregates and the heart base. For mental aggregates and the heart base. Owing to this arises the heart base supported by the mental aggregates, the mental aggregates supported by the heart base. Does that make sense? Is that clear to everyone? 6C, Sahajata C. What are we talking about here? Can anyone explain heart base supported by mental aggregates and mental aggregates supported by heart base? What are we talking about there?
The Nama Rupa of the Patisandhi Chitta?
The Nama Rupa of the Patisandhi Chitta. Are we okay? Nama Rupa of the Patisandhi Chitta.
So the heart base, as in the Vattu, there are the Vattu Dasaka Kalapa, Kaya Dasaka Kalapa, and the Bhava Dasaka Kalapa.
Okay.
And the 4 mental aggregates coming from the Patisandhi Chitta, that is the Nama.
Supported by the heart base.
Yeah. And then as a result, then you have the Anyamanya Pachaya of one giving rise to the other.
Lovely. Lovely. Is that clear, everyone? Right. Now, where are we? Right. And 6C, right? 6C. Now, we have pre-nascence and post-nascence as well. Pre-nascence, number 2. No, pre-nascence. Here. Object, Arammana. Right? present 18 concrete matter, present 18 concrete matter as the conditioning state. The conditioned state becomes the 54 sense-sphere chittas, the 2 direct knowledges, the 50 chetasikas, excluding the 2 illimitables. Now, what is this? What time, at what time does this occur? Mala or Himmali, would you know?
Bhante, at that moment, present moment, at that moment.
Hari, that is clear. But present moment, 18 concrete matters, right? I mean, what kind of scenario is this? What kind of scenario is this? The conditioning state is present 18 matter. And the conditioned, make a padanam kragan hataganna dharmatika thamai, 54 sense-sphere chittas, 2 direct knowledges, 50 chetasikas, excluding 2 illimitables. Does this give us a sense of nikam bhavana, yogic kind of thing, or what do you think? What kind of impression does this state give? Now, remember, we are talking about disassociated dhammas, dissociation paccaya, avigata paccaya, vipayutta paccaya, sorry, right? Vipayutta paccaya.
Is it the present moment?
Is it the?
At that.
Sorry, we are taking, hold on. We are taking the prenascence here. So here, number 8, everyone, right? Number 8, 2, A and B, these two, base and object, prenascence. During existence, 6 material bases, and because of the 6 material bases arises within the Panchavokara Bhumi, 85 chittas, excluding 4 immaterial state resultants, because again, nobody, and 52 chetasikas, and 52 jesikas. During existence, 6 material bases gives rise to the 85 chittas, excluding 4 immaterial resultants, because why? Panchavokara, right? The material sphere, and their respective 52 chetasikas. Me patte tiyenama, the conditioning state are the rupas, the conditioned states are the mentality, mind and the matter and the mind, right? The matter and the mind. Is that clear, everyone? Base object. Hard base taken as object of the same chitta and chetasika, it supports as base. This is the one linked to the meditation. This is the one linked to the meditation. Remember, we spoke about this?
Is it Nama Rupa? Nama Rupa?
Nama Rupa?
I forgot the word.
Paricheda. You are referring to Paricheda.
Is it Nama Rupa Paricheda? Nama Rupa Paricheda. Is it Nama Rupa Paricheda? Nama Rupa Paricheda enna puluwan. Nama Rupa Paricheda enna puluwan meka. It can. But it's not exclusive, but it can. Right? This happens especially when the mind takes the mind object as the hard base as an object. Right? Hard base king, the hard base taken as object of the same chitta and chetasika, it support as base. Do you understand? If we take the instance where we have this sort of helicopter like, overhead sort of visual of everything that is going on here, the mind taking as object the mind. But here in this instant, what happens is, this is a bit more accurate, or we have to speak with a bit more accuracy than before. This is directly taking the heart base as object, which serves as the base for the same chittas and chetsikas that arise dependent upon it. Then now, manasa manasatama yomu karana. Right here, because of this, the conditioned states become mindo-adverting, 22 sense sphere javanas, 11 registration chittas, 44 chetsikas, excluding envy, avarice, worry, 3 abstinences, 2 illimitables, taking their heart base as object. Only when the heart base is taken as object, right? If you can remember, 3 abstinences and 2 illimitables, because we are simply observing, we are simply taking as object, noticing, directing our mind towards the object of noticing the heart base. Hence, we do not, of course, have envy, avarice, worry, and we do not have the 3 abstinences or the 2 illimitables, because we are simply in a position or a state of being, right? In a position or state of being. Are we clear, everyone? Are we clear on this? Any questions?
So, yes,
Tamari. Yes,
so,
Tamari.
would it be then fair to say when someone is in a deep jhana, whether it's first, second, third, fourth, or fifth, that this applies, this paksha, this vatu, is it vatu purejata?
Vatu purejata.
Vatu purejata nisya paksha, then that applies in that kind of situation where you are not, your object is something else, it's not, even if it's a supramundane one, then the 2 illimitables won't be there because you'd be taking Nibbana as the object. Then if it's a deep jhana, then you're not actually abstaining from anything, you're in the deep samadhi.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3 abstinences wouldn't be there. And in that case, these nivaranas are, suppressed anyway, in the avarice, worry. So would you say that's more into bhavana type of mentalities?
Shall we look at now? Yeah. Let's look at what the book says. Let's look at what the book says. Where is this? Vatu purejata, support condition. I think it's down here somewhere.
It's 318.
318. Support here. Support is a condition where the conditioning state causes the conditioned states to arise by serving as a support or foundation on which they depend. The conditioning state is said to be related to the conditioned state in a manner similar to the way the earth supports the trees and vegetation, or a canvas supports a painting, right? 2 main categories of support condition are recognized. 1, connascent support, sahajata nissaya. 2, pre-nascent support, purejata nissaya. And connascent support condition is identical in all respects with the connascent condition. Pre-nascent support condition includes 2 subsidiary types. 1 is simply base pre-nascent support, vatu purejata nissaya, which is identical with base pre-nascence discussed under pre-nascence condition. The other is called base object pre-nascence support, vatta rammana purejata nissaya. This refers to the special case when, a chitta arises supported by the heart base and at the same time makes that heart base its object. Thus, on such an occasion, the heart base is simultaneously a support and an object for a single chitta. Referring to this condition, the Patthana states, one contemplates with insight that internal base as impermanent, suffering, and non-self. That is your answer, Chamari. One enjoys it and delights in it, making, this is the point. Now, why the jhana would not match here is because we do not make the internal base the object of jhana, although we might be in a position, enjoying a position that is connected to the heart base and the mind. We do not take the mind or that internal base as the main object there. We do not do that in jhana. We use the kasina, and from the kasina we develop the different sorts of nimitta, which we use to then go into the jhana. Here, we have to take as object. Manasa ekatama arumunu karanna ona. E arumunu kirimak siddha wenne samatha bhavanawe. ඒ කියන්නේ අරමුණක් වශයෙන් අපි අජ්ජත් ධර්මයක් අපි ගන්නෙ නැහැ. මෙතන අජ්ජත් ධර්මයක් වශයෙන් කියන්නේ මෙතන මේ හදේ වස්තුව ධර්මයක් වශයෙන් අපි ගන්නෙ නැහැ. අපේ මේ සමත භාවනාව. ඒ හින්දා we can't exclusively say, oh, is this referring to a jhana, making it as an object. Lust arises, wrong view arises, doubt arises, restlessness arises, displeasure arises. Displeasure arises. Yeah, so I would say that it sort of coincides with more of a vipassana-based contemplation than a samatha-based contemplation.
Yes, yeah, you're right. So it's more to do with either the supramundane ones as well, where you would you? I
could. I mean, we could, if we reflect along the jnanas Chamare, මේකට ගැලපෙන ඥාන ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. Right? ඔතකොට ඥාන ගත්තම ඔතකොට ඥාන වලින් අපි ඔක්කොම ගන්න වෙන්නේ අපිට විදර්ශනා ටික තමයි.
Yeah, because the Patthana states one contemplates with insight. So there is the answer, isn't there?
Yeah.
Where you're not taking an object and then its counterpart sign and you know the rest.
ඒකටත් දැන් මේක පට්ඨාන කියන දෙයක්නේ. But වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ චමරි ඒකටත් වඩා මට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ මේ අජ්ජත් ධර්මයක් අරමුණක් වශයෙන් ගැනීම. Internal base.
Yeah, even your mind as impermanent.
Yeah, so internal base, the taking of an internal base does not happen in any of the samatha objects out of any of the 40. So it has to be the vipassana basis. And of course, impermanent suffering non-self, that then clearly has to be vipassana.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. No.
Bhante, is it, can we say like this, the two parts, one kusal magga and one nirvana magga? Is it? Two different paths,
okay.
Like we discussed the other time. One kusal marga and the other nirvana marga. Is it? I'm taking this one.
Okay.
We can make kusal in one time, and we can take nirvana marga, anicca dukkha. One samatha and one anicca dukkha anatma vipassana. Can we take like that also, Bhante?
When? Mona avastha.
When Chamari explained the thing, when Chamari state that I don't know how to Bhante. Is it kusal? There are two ways. But one is kusal. We can kusal vipaka. The other is anicca dukkha anatma Nirvana Marga. That indicate that the difference.
The difference between what? Are you talking about the heart base, Hemali?
We'll see, Bhante. I'll read some more and I'll come to you later.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't understand.
Yeah. Actually, I don't. We'll study a little bit and I'll come back to you.
Yeah, please.
Okay,
please.
right. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah, or you can continue asking. If you're talking with regards to the heart base, then you're giving me. Are you talking with regards to taking the heart base as an object?
I'll come back to you.
Okay, Chamri.
Later.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now, the other part is A2A and B. We've done that, right? We've done that now. Now we go to post-nascence, same as 11. Now let's go to post-nascence. Post-nascence, we have in the Panchabokara again, latter 85 chittas starting from the first bhavanga and there are 52 chesikas within the Panchabokara bhumi, right? The 5 aggregate planes arises. So the chittas arises 5 aggregate plane matter of body arisen along with preceding chitta from rebirth onto the phase of presence, onto the phase of presence. Then Metana, what do we have here? What is the post-nascence here? Within the Panchabokara, what we are looking at is disassociation, right? And then the post-nascence we have in the third, same as 11 for both, right? Otogota, clear, it is clear. Disassociation now, number 11, if we take, we have the 85 chittas here, and then we have the matter which arises, matter of body arisen along with the preceding chitta from rebirth on at a state of presence, right? So we have the mind here and the matter here. Now, what kind of instance is this? Dil, do you have something to say?
No, Bhante. This presence is a titi, is it?
Yes, the phrase of presence, titi avastavat. It can name matures.
Okay,
right?
thank you.
Yeah. So, later 85 chittas starting from first bhavanga and the 52 chaitsikas. Condition, these are the conditioning states arises that matter. Chamri, did you want to say something?
Yes, Bhante, just the example of that when you go into the post-nascence in the book is about the rainwater and the vegetation. So the vegetation is already there. Let's say take the rebirth link in Chitta has already taken place. And then from the first Bhavanga, which is why it's saying later 85 Chittas taking away the immaterial sphere resultants, the 4, all of the others starting from first Bhavanga in the 5 aggregate planes. So it comes after, which is like the rainwater helping already existing vegetation.
Yes. All right, everyone. Yeah. So the bhavangas that have already arisen, right, supporting those chittas that are going to arise, yeah, in the future, the latter 85 chittas starting from the first bhavanga, and there are 52 chaitasikas. Now this is disassociation condition because they are clearly disassociated, the oil and the water, the matter, the mind and the matter. they exist together, they support, they arise, they arise conditioned. They arise conditioned. Did someone say something? They arise conditioned, but they will always be arising disassociated from one another because of the characteristic of the phenomenon. The characteristic here that disassociates being mind and matter. The fact that they are mind and matter, right? Mind and matter. All right. Now, this, number 21, we will start 21 to 24. We will start and finish next week, everyone. Okay. Any questions before we wrap up? Okay. So within the week, I know that some of you are, might have questions, might like to go over certain patchas. Can we take some time within the week to just come together and we can sort of discuss or go over those difficult parts? You can, because next week we will be sort of going over the last of the patchas that we have, and then we will be moving on to a different section within the patchas, but a different section of the patchas. So if there are any questions that you would have, would you like a couple of hours, a 1 or 2 hour session to sort of ask any questions that you might have, to go over certain areas even, which is completely fine. Would you think about it, or you can tell me now, or you can think about it and put it on the group? I would be very happy to take Saturday morning or whatever, or a Saturday afternoon to help, because Devika is in America. So whatever, I'm happy to do it. If any of you want to have a session where we just discuss and just go through the numbers again, or, just hash out different sort of Patthana stuff, basically. Yeah. So think about it and just put it on the group if you want, or you can tell me now as well. Even if it is just a few of you, it's fine. Even if it is just like 2 or 3 of you, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
So I'm available Tuesday afternoon, like the same time we start.
Yes, Bhante. Yes, Bhante. It's good to have a revision like that. Yes, I like to join. Yeah.
I'm okay for Tuesday and Thursday, Bhante. If you want to.
Shall we just put the dates on the group so that we can then see what fits? Yeah, if no pressure, no one needs to join, I understand. But those of you who might sort of need some sort of assistance to just go over, no pressure to anyone. You don't have to join, but if you need some help and you would like to go over some stuff and just ask questions or whatnot, like, it's fine. We can go. We can do it. Yeah.
Okay. Bhante, you said Saturday. You said Saturday, so Saturday will be convenient for you.
Yeah, Saturday will not come up now. Saturday will not come up.
Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon. Yeah.
Okay, Bhante. Yeah, Saturday afternoon, good. Yeah.
What time?
For me. Anytime.
Like same time, like your 7 o'clock your time, and I can come in at 2 o'clock then. Or at 1 o'clock even is okay. If
so 7 p.m. Saturday?
Yep.
Yes.
Is that okay with everyone after dinner?
Yes, pull on. Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. All right, then Saturday 7 o'clock. Yeah, a little revision class. So we will not have like a time fixated. We'll go on and try to just cover whatever we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that fine? Is that okay with everyone? Yeah. All right. So then see you for Abhidhamma on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay.
We will just be, so even if you want to go right to the beginning and you have some questions about Pacha Uppanna, how it works, or Pacha Sati, if you want to sort of bring some questions in from that part, it's fine. Just bring them in and we will just go over, what it is and just have sort of hash out. Yeah. Lovely. So I will see you all tomorrow morning for meditation. Yeah. Teron Sanna, everyone. Have a good, pleasant rest of the evening.
Teron Sanna, Bhante.
Bye.